YouTube.
You're live on YouTube.
Kia ora and hello. Welcome back to one of Arun Jacob's live broadcasts from the city of Hamilton, New Zealand. Sorry about that. It says Auckland. Oh, sorry, that way. It says Auckland, but I'm actually coming live from Hamilton, New Zealand. This is just a backdrop I have sometimes when I have to make videos. I use that backdrop, but yeah, good to be back again live after a very, very long time. This is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor. So, yeah, welcome, kia ora, namaste, assalamu alaikum, satriyakal, swagatam, everything else, mene hola. If there are people from other parts of the world who are watching this live broadcast. So, yep, it was lovely to be back online again. It's been a while since I came online, and here I am coming live on my YouTube as well as on Facebook. And I hope I get to talk to a lot of you beautiful young people who have been thinking of studying and or migrating to New Zealand. And so today's session is called which would be the best courses to choose and which are the best intakes to choose to come to New Zealand in the year 2023. We are not too far away from 2023. We are almost into the middle of October already. So the year has gone through very quickly, and I am personally glad it has, because COVID was not a very nice thing to survive. But now that it is all done, yeah. So we have our first question, and there is a query from my YouTube, which says the name of the person is Dr. Savior, which is fantastic. And before I answer Dr. Savior, I'm also going to try to see where I can see comments on my Facebook as well. Yeah, I can't see any comments yet, but yeah, if there are any comments that come up on Facebook, I'll answer. So, Dr. Xavier asks, hello, sir, I want to migrate to New Zealand to work. Yeah, fantastic. Look, a lot of people who want to come to New Zealand obviously want to eventually end up picking up a job and uh, working here, earning your salary, and want to settle down in New Zealand, which is great. How do you get to work here? There are two, three different ways. One, there is something called the Accredited Employer Work Visa. If you're able to get a job offer from a company in New Zealand, you can apply for the Accredited Employer Work Visa. If you don't have a job offer, then you can come here on a study pathway, do a master's or some other course, which will give you a work visa after you complete your studies, which is called the post-study work visa. So that's one more way to get a work visa and start working in New Zealand. And then third way is if you have money to invest, you can come here on something called the entrepreneur work visa. So that is one more way of coming into New Zealand and picking up a work visa and start working. So there are many pathways into New Zealand where you can definitely come and work. You say you're a degree holder of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery from India, which is fantastic, which is MBBS, of course. For doctors, there is an extra step because you also need to be registered with the Medical Council of New Zealand. So that will be an extra step for you, Dr. Xavier. So that is another thing that you'll have to. So for doctors, physiotherapists, and a few other occupations in the health industry, there will be a few more steps that you will have to do. So, but bottom line, to cut a long story short, yes, we have a shortage of medical professionals in New Zealand, and we would love to have people like you to come and just reading from your English, Dr. Xavier. I see there is absolutely not a single spelling mistake in the way you've written, which is fantastic. So I can see that your English is already very good just from your written. You are a qualified MBBS degree holder. I'm sure you have work experience. And I've already explained there are 3, 4 different ways of getting a work visa and coming and working in New Zealand. Especially as a doctor, you will be highly in demand. but it will take some understanding of who you are and uh, your background, your qualifications, and we will also need to guide you through the medical, the council registration process. So, Dr. Xavier, I hope this information that I've provided on this live was already enough to get you started. So, your next step should be to email your CV to info@ajvglobal.com. Okay, please send us your CV. If you're married, send your spouse's CV as well, because sometimes as a couple, there are more opportunities that come up. So that is the reason I would like you to send your CV. And if you're married, your spouse CV also to come to send it across to info@agvglobal.com. We will take a look, we will contact you and guide you through the right process. Our initial consultation is free, so you don't have to worry about paying us anything. Only if we assess and we say, okay, there are pathways for you, definitely, Dr. Xavier, and these are the pathways, and you can then sit back and assess and say, yeah, I want to pursue this particular pathway. Then we will advise you what is the fees and other things. Okay, so look forward to receiving your CV, and if you're married, also your spouse's CV, Dr. Xavier. Next question, also from YouTube, is from Digvijay Care. Uh, and Alvin, just let me know if there are some, what do you call the inquiries coming in from Facebook as well, so that I can address them as well, because we seem to be getting some inquiries from YouTube at the moment. Okay, so it is Dr. Kalpa Deep Paul. Thank you, Dr. Paul, for sharing your name. I really appreciate that. So, Paul, please send us your CV to info@agvglobal.com, and we will definitely get in touch and figure out the best pathway for you. Next one is from Digvijay Kher. Hi, Digvijay. About IT industry in New Zealand, especially data science. Digvijay, I don't want to overstate this, but IT doctors, first we got a doctor, Dr. Paul, and now IT, highly in demand, both these particular things. We need health professionals in New Zealand, and we also need a lot of very, very good IT professionals in New Zealand. And the reason for it is quite simple, Digvijay, is because we as a country are not, in New Zealand. I'm a New Zealander now, by the way. I originally come from India, but now I actually am on a New Zealand passport, and that's why when I say we as a country, please, do not mind. But I am officially now a New Zealander. So, as a country, we are trying to grow our what is known as the knowledge industry, and for us, our focus is on health sciences, biotechnology, information technology, entertainment industry, film and television, those kinds of soft knowledge based industry is what we are trying to create. Why? Because we are very environmentally conscious, and we don't want to put up big large factories here in this country. So we are trying to focus more and more on the IT sector. IT is doing extraordinarily well in New Zealand. In fact, only yesterday I was looking at a website called EdTech, which is technology in education, because I'm part of the international education industry. I do have an interest in this. So absolutely, IT industry top. If you just write IT industry, Google IT industry, New Zealand immigration, you will see it comes up in something called the long-term skills shortage list. It will be in something called the green list. It will be in something called the regional skills shortages list. It will be in all kinds of skill shortages areas. Also for doctors, Paul, if you're still listening. So there are certain industries and certain what do you call positions where, so if you are a data scientist, for instance, especially data science, huge demand for data scientists right now in New Zealand, and we are having a shortage. So same advice to you, Digvijay. If you are keen to come into New Zealand, there'll be various pathways. You might be able to come in on an accredited employer work visa. You might be able to come in on a skilled migrant resident visa. You might be able to come here on a study plus settle pathway, where you can come and do a master's, maybe in data science. We have some great, and then that will give you a further 3 years work visa. And I can promise you, you will get snapped up and get into residence. So many pathways are possible, Digvijay, because I can't tell just from your name what is your experience and how old you are and all those other details. But yeah, for all I know, you are already an entrepreneur and you would like to come and set up an IT business in New Zealand. So all kinds of pathways are available. So same advice slash request to you, Digvijay. All I can tell you is very, very good potential for IT professionals in New Zealand, especially in data science. We want you, we need you here in New Zealand. And for you to take an informed decision, please email your CV with a contact number in it to info@ajvglobal.com, and we will gladly take a look at it. Like I said, first consultation is free. We will take a look and then decide which is the best pathway for you. If pathway A or B or C or D, you can choose them. In fact, you can check other videos on my YouTube channel. Just search for Arun Jacob on YouTube, and this face will come up. And you will see there is one particular video which says the many pathways into New Zealand. So that is another thing you can look at and to explain more clearly all the pathways. So Digvijay, please acknowledge and say yes, you'll send your CV, and we will gladly take a look at you. Right. So Shrey, next one, I'm quickly going to Facebook to make sure I'm not ignoring any, what do you call? Yeah, and right. So there is one from Renu from Facebook, and Renu asks if any scholarships are there. And Renu also then goes on to ask, hey, Arun, my son is in standard 12. Kindly suggest best course for him. PCM, I'm not sure what, must be physics, chemistry, mathematics, I'm thinking, Renu, because I'm not familiar with that particular term. But if it is PCM and if I'm correct, and yeah, physics, chemistry, and mathematics, my colleague just confirmed it for me. I think, again, STEM subjects, as you're aware, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, are always in great demand anywhere in the world. And if your son is planning to come here after his 12th to do a bachelor's, great start, because when he comes into New Zealand at a young age, immediately after his 12th, and he gets into one of the STEM, courses at a bachelor's level from one of the many beautiful universities we have, he would absolutely be so job ready and settlement ready by the time he finishes his degree from one of our premier institutions. So I would say yes, and scholarships, I'm sure we will be able to find something, because as a student of bachelor's who is coming for 3 years, institutions here understand that international students pay quite a heavy fees to come and study in New Zealand. So there are definitely certain scholarships available, but I can't remember anything off the top of my head right now. But there are definitely scholarships available for, especially at the bachelor's level. There are also scholarships available at the postgraduate level. But since you're inquiring about your son Renu at the bachelor's level, we would love to discuss with him and check, and with you, of course, as the parent, and check which particular subject is choosing. I would strongly recommend that he chooses something from STEM, which is, as you're aware, science, technology, engineering, or math, because that is where the future is. And I was just explaining to Digvijay before, very, very bright future in all the STEM subjects. All right, cool. So what I'd like you to do, Reno, is please send an email to info@ajvglobal.com with your name and your, your contact number to info@ajvglobal.com. And you can copy paste the same message that you pasted in Facebook. Just send it to us to that email address. Even otherwise, we will try and reach out to you through Facebook after this session so that we can continue the conversation. But please send your young son to us in New Zealand. We want these bright young people to come and study with us, and then to pick up their post-study work visas. He will automatically get a 3 years post-study work visa after he finishes his bachelor's, and then go on to become a very valuable worker in one of the most beautiful countries in the world. And don't worry about the fact he is young, because this is one of the safest countries on earth. I have two daughters, by the way, same age as your son. They're also about to finish class 12 here in New Zealand. When I say two daughters, I mean they're twins, and that's why they both finishing class. So yeah, I'm extraordinarily happy as a parent to see my children growing up here in New Zealand, and I'm sure you will love to have your son here as well. So please send us that email with your contact details. Right. Going back quickly, I'll have to keep flicking through. Digvijay says, "Thank you. You're welcome, Digvijay. Very happy I could provide some good information to you." Coming back to Facebook, there's a message from Sharda. Uh, Udakanda. Okay. Hi, Sharda. And your messages, hi, Arun. My wife currently works as a teacher in government school in Sri Lanka. Lovely. Bachelor degree holder, business administration. She has 9 years experience. Please send me best option migration to New Zealand. Is she eligible to do MSc early childhood education with her business administration degree? Thanks. Okay, very interesting question, Sharda. And before anything else, Aibowan, I think I missed that in my opening greetings. But Aibowan, saying that you're from Sri Lanka, we work with a lot of fantastic Sri Lankan clients. In fact, just last week, I put a file into the immigration system for a Sri Lankan client who wants to come and establish a business here. So, yeah, thanks for reaching out to us. So she has 9 years experience working as a teacher. So that might offset the fact, Sharda, that she doesn't have a bachelor's um, in teaching, and more than likely we might be able to pathway her into a master's in early childhood education, which is again a very very good area to get into because we are having a shortage of teachers, and especially in early childhood because this country has got a system of looking after its young people. All children are eligible for free education in New Zealand, which means there's always a demand for teachers. So, which is why it is great to see. So, we may be able to do something called cross crediting, Sharda, but we can only do it once we kind of get her CV. Along with her CV, you send your CV as well to info@ajvglobal.com. We will take a look. And then I do believe that we can get her into the master's in early childhood education. But we would also like to take a look at your profile to see is there a direct, residence pathway, depending on whether you guys qualify for the skilled migration category. If not, what is the other pathway? Can we get your wife into the master's where she will get into the course, and after she finishes that, she will be able to get a 3 years post-study work visa. But you will be able to accompany her even when she's studying on your own spouse work visa and start working. And it works out beautifully. In fact, you must go and check out one of my YouTube videos called How Couples Can Migrate into New Zealand and Settle through the Education Pathway. Clearly explains everything. So please send us the CVs, Sharda, of yourself and your wife to info@ajvglobal.com. We will take a look and suggest the best pathway for you. Okay, cool. Right, moving on to the next one. Okay, Shreja Padiyar, Cutie Pie. I love that name. Shrejal, sorry, Shrejal Padiyar, Cutie Pie. Hello, sir. I want to migrate to New Zealand. Please suggest me the best pathway. Looks like Shrejal has sent the same message on both Facebook and YouTube. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to answer it anyway. So again, Shrejal, as I told you there just before I was sharing it with our other people on this call, there are many pathways into migration pathways into New Zealand, Shrejal. So, simplest would be something called the skilled migrant pathway. You can apply. If you qualify, you get those required number of points, you can apply and come in to the country. But at the moment it's kind of going a little slowly because after COVID the government has rejigged quite a few policies, but that is a pathway that is always possible. At the moment, though, it is kind of I think on temporary hold. Then there is always a study and settle pathway where you can come study for a period of time, get a post-study work visa, pick up a job relevant to the course that you have completed, and then based on that job, apply for residence. Quite a simple, smooth process. A lot of our clients, and I've been in this industry for 20 years now, and a lot of our clients have very, very successfully utilized the skill migrant pathway, the study plus settle pathway, to lead to my residence. In fact, go to our Facebook page and see all the recent posts that we have done showing a lot of our clients who have recently got their resident visas. Many of them came through on the student pathway and then finished the course, got their post-study work visa, found a job, and then worked for the requisite number of time, got the number of points required to apply. So it's been very successful. So pathways into New Zealand, many. If you have money, you can even come as something called an active investor. But then this is, it does involve a lot of money, but there are people with a lot of money in this world who do opt for the active investor category as well. If you don't have a lot of money in the millions, if you have only, let's say, a few $100,000, you can consider something called the entrepreneur work visa, which will then lead you to residence. So there are a lot of pathways, Srijal, into primarily these four, skill migration, study plus settle, investor, and entrepreneur. There's another one called, accredited employer work visa, fifth one, which is if you are able to get a job directly in New Zealand, if you're in a good technical field, and somebody picks you up because we have a shortage of people here, that's another pathway. So we can only do that assessment, Srijal, once we get your CV, and do a proper thorough assessment of that. And yeah, based on that, we can suggest, hey, Srijal, either A, B, C, D, or E is what suits you. And yeah, and then we will advise you how long it will take, how much money it costs, so on and so forth. And we are based in New Zealand. I'm speaking right now from a city called Hamilton in New Zealand. Forget that. Sorry, how do I do that? Oops, forget that. Auckland. Behind me, I'm not in Auckland. But yeah, why not? You're getting the best of both worlds. You're talking to a guy from Hamilton, New Zealand, and you're also getting to see the skyline of Auckland behind me. But yeah, we're based here and we've been helping a lot of clients over the years to do this. So if you're keen to take our help, we would love to check out our Google ratings, check out our Facebook ratings, and you'll see. And we are also something called, we have licensed immigration advisors in our company. I am a licensed immigration advisor. And we have some more of my colleagues are also licensed immigration advisors. So we actually provide you legal advice, because anybody who gives you advice about New Zealand education without having this license is actually illegal. So I'm glad you guys are joining this live broadcast today and getting some good, honest answers and simple suggestions to your queries. So looks like that's the end of questions for today. But let me quickly check. Alwyn, can you advise me if there are any more questions? Okay, yeah, I am. Okay, there is Sri Jayanti, who has written. Uh, okay, there's another one from Sri Jayati, sorry, not Jayanti. Says, greetings, Arun. I'm Chinmay's mother. Chinmay's student visa is in process. Hope it completes successfully. Hi, Jayati or Sri. Thank you so much for choosing to send Chinmay to New Zealand through AJV Global. We are very pleased and very honored to work with you and your family. Do not worry about the student visa process, Sri, because we are. I mean, I don't want to sound boastful, but we are really good at what we do, and that's why we have a lot of um, respect and recognition from all the institutions in New Zealand, from Education New Zealand, from Immigration New Zealand, and all those kinds of things. So, yeah, we will absolutely take care of Chinmay student visa. I'm sure it will be successful. And to your next question, Sri, is how difficult is it to get a tourist visa? Not very difficult, because we like to have tourists in New Zealand as well. And if you would like to come with Chinmay and be with your child for some time, we will absolutely work on that. Please, whoever is advising Chinmay from my team, I'm not aware personally, but I'm sure you're talking to either Grace or Madhvi or one of our or fantastic other, service team members and visa officers. Check with them, give them a call, and say, "Hey, look, I would also like to get a visit visa along with Chinmai's student visa." We will absolutely work on that and try and send both mother and child together. And we'd love to meet you as well in New Zealand. Okay, so it's not a bit difficult process, especially because you've already shown the funds for the child. So I don't think it will be much of an issue. Okay, cool. There is another question from Facebook, which is from MK Must. Hi, sir. Is certificate 3 and 4 in welding can lead to settlement in New Zealand? Good question. Let me see if it's a good question. But let me see if welders are recently they came out with something called the green list. And if you're on the green list, then it means there might be a much better opportunity of getting you into the country. So as I'm talking, I'm just trying to scroll down to, yeah. So whoever, or everybody else who, if they are still listening, so they're just Google green list New Zealand, and you will see whether you're in it or not. And if you're in it, I think your chances of moving to New Zealand would be very, very high. So, Paul, there are vascular surgeons and various other doctors, resident medical officer, secondary school teachers are there. I'm trying to say, and then there are various other doctors, orthopedic surgeons, ophthalmologists, so and in IT, there will be tons. So there are ICT managers, ICT project managers, ICT security specialists. We also need food technicians, technologists rather. And we require early childhood teachers. So that's for Sharada from. Unfortunately, MK Mast welders are not on the green list. But that does not mean that it's a complete dead end for you. We might still be able to take a look and say what we can look at. So could you also please email your CV mkmas to info@ajvglobal.com. We will take a look and see what is the best thing that we can do about welders. All right. So and then okay. So right. So sorry, I just got slightly distracted. Okay, it's never easy trying to toggle between YouTube, Facebook, and I'm also on Skype with my colleague. Okay, Niranjan Fernando, waiting for an update about my file. Niranjan, Aibawan, you will get an update soon. Unfortunately, Immigration New Zealand also dropped a lot of people from their workforce during the COVID period, and the kind of recruiting and putting them back in the game. There is a massive backlog of processing for them, but don't worry, my friend. We will definitely, come back to you, right? Sri Jyoti comes back and says, "Great, thanks, Arun. I'll definitely plan to visit New Zealand along with Chinmai. Your team is excellent and very supportive. Thanks for the confidence." Thank you so much for that feedback, Sri. Really appreciate that. Like I said, we just try our best to help all of you, and I think we're also very, very sincere in our advice, and we clearly tell people if they're not ready to move overseas. But we also like to work with people who are absolutely good to go and ensure that they come to. Thanks, Sri, and we definitely hope to see you and Chinmai here. Right, my friend Onil Pandit, Mr. Pandit. How are you, sir? How are you? Long time indeed. I know. I think you missed meeting Mary when she was in Wellington, or I don't know if you met her already. So where have I been hiding? Bloody COVID, man. Bloody COVID took the joy out of my life. So I was kind of trying to cope with it and keep the company going, despite however bleak it was. But back in action again and trying our best to put this train back on the rails. But no, I think there is definitely light at the end of the tunnel. O'Neill, I hope you and the family are doing well. We will certainly catch up soon. Take care, Matt. And yeah, lovely to see you again after a long time as well. Okay, moving on. There is Busa Vlogs. Okay, interesting. Hello, sir. I'm a physiotherapist. Please suggest me the best pathway from India. Busa, same answer as I gave one of our earlier people asking the question about doctors. So for physiotherapists and doctors, you will need to, um, you know, have the registration for doctors. It's the Medical Council of New Zealand. For physios, it will be the Physiotherapy Board. It is. I was given to understand that getting registration as a physiotherapist from India in New Zealand apparently is not very easy. Not that I'm trying to discourage you, but it seems it is quite a challenge, especially I don't know why, but it looks like maybe it's because of the qualifications there versus in India versus qualifications here. Or, but please go to the physiotherapy board, Google Physiotherapy Board New Zealand, and you will be able to see what are all the requirements for uh, getting registration. If you qualify, maybe you should go ahead and apply. If you don't qualify, no, while you do that research with Google, also send us your CV to info@ajvglobal.com so that we will also try to see in case your registration becomes difficult with the physiotherapy board, perhaps we can pathway you into New Zealand through the study and settle pathway. Perhaps you can come here for a course related to your physiotherapy at a master's level, perhaps, and then get into that course. And you'll have to invest the time, money, and effort. But if you do that, and you end up getting a post-study work visa, you can then utilize. And once you're in New Zealand, even the registration board will probably uh, consider the fact that you're now educated in New Zealand with a local university degree, and that might also go in your favor. So I strongly recommend you send us your CV to info@ajvglobal.com. And at the same time, also going to the physiotherapy board website. I think it's physio.org.nz if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, just Google physiotherapy board New Zealand and check your eligibility. At the same time, send us your CV as well. Okay, and we will see what is the best suggestion we can give you. Okay, cool. Moving on, I have answered Busa Vlogs. There is another one from Bujanga Linganga Menno. Okay, right. And he says, I am 60 years old. Can I apply migrate for business visa and what requirements? Yeah, absolutely, Bujang, because interestingly enough, for the entrepreneur work visa, and before I tell that to you, I will just make sure that I'm giving you the right information. Uh, okay, this is interesting. So, for the entrepreneur work visa, which is what you're talking about, you're saying, can I work, can I apply? Um, you're saying, can I apply migrate on a business visa? What are the requirements? So, interestingly, our business visa is called the entrepreneur work visa, where you can come and invest your money and start a business. So there is no age limit for this, which is good. But there are no points given towards age after 60 years of age. So, but you don't, even if you're not getting points um, through your age, you could always, increase the level of what do you call the investment you're putting in, and that will offset the points you're losing for your age. Also, of course, considering you're 60, we'll also have to ensure that you're in good health. I'm not saying you're in bad health, but I'm also a guy who is about 50. I just turned 54 recently, and obviously, as our body is getting older, something or the other creeps into the body. For instance, I take a pill for a chronic thing that kind of started about 4 or 5 years ago. So we'll also have to check into that, Bujang. So again, same thing. Could I request you to email your CV to us, and what is your background in business so far, what you have done. Send us a CV, or if you're a businessman, you don't have a CV, just, if you have a LinkedIn profile, email that to info@agvglobal.com. But please make sure your phone number is there, because otherwise we will not know how to proceed. So if you're looking at the entrepreneur work visa, the process is that one of our senior advisors will connect with you, and then set up a paid consultation with me, because I am the business specialist in my team. So I mainly look into the business and investor category visas. So yeah, it'll be lovely to work with you. So please send us your CV or your LinkedIn profile link with phone number to info@ajvglobal.com. Buja, thank you. Ruavza, hi Arun, hope you're doing good. Felt great after meeting Mary. Hope we will meet you soon. Yeah, hi Ru. Yes, I know she came back and told us lots of good stories about all the fun all you guys had in Wellington. I'm so glad all of you met, because as I keep saying, once you become part of a family, you're always part of a family, and I think that's what makes us so different from many other people. We go around meeting our clients, organizing get-togethers, dinners, picnics. We've done a lot of fun things together. I will certainly come down to Wellington soon, and when I'm there, we will try and all have a good catch up again. Okay, so take care. My daughter studies in Wellington, by the way. So besides coming to meet all of you, I also have another good reason, which is to also meet her. So definitely. Okay, so Shankara Raghubabu, hi Arun, good to see you live after a long time. Hey, Shankara, good to say hello to you as well. My brother applied for student visa for PhD with University of Waikato on 2nd August. Till now, he has not received any update. How much time would it take? Thank you. So, Shankara, as I was just telling you, the INZ has also been dealing with a lot of backlogs, because I think they did not expect so many applications to come in. So it is just a normal administrative delay. Don't worry. If your brother is coming for PhD, they are highly valued in our country here in New Zealand, as you're aware. And so, yeah, I'm sure it'll be looked at quite soon. 2nd August, October. Okay, and also bear in mind, PhDs will take slightly longer, because they will also check back with the supervisors and the universities to make sure everything is, because as you're aware, PhDs do get some special privileges like full-time work and all those things. So they just want to ensure. So please hang in there. I think it's just a procedural delay. Okay, and if it still goes, and always be in touch with Mary and her team, because they are the people who will get all the updates from immigration. And if it's getting really too delayed, then our team can actually reach into INZ and check on the progress and give you guys an update. Okay, thanks for yeah. Right, Dropsa Singh, interesting name. Okay, Dropsa says, hi, I'm a New Zealand citizen. Hi, Dropsa. Kiara, my sister is applying for student visa from New Zealand. My parents who are in India are also showing funds for I'm paying for. Now, a few people told me my sister can't have. Okay, are we doing something wrong? Funds, da da da. Dropsa, you have not mentioned if your sister has already applied is or still applying for the student visa. Can you please confirm that, and I'll come back and answer your question. If she has already applied, then there is not a lot we can do. But if she is applying, you said so. Yeah, just confirm to me, Dropsa, and I'll come back and answer your question. Meantime, I will move on to Gurvinder Singh, who has asked, birthplace in my passport is not same as birthplace in my passport is not same as given in my birth certificate. Can it create any problem during my work or visit visa? Potentially, it could, because birthplace will always be the same. So don't know why it changed from your passport from your birth certificate to your passport, I really have no clue, Gurvinder, why it changed, because unless it was an administrative mistake from the passport office, I'm thinking, because obviously your birth certificate would have captured your birth properly initially. I would say, yeah, it might, there is a potential for it to create a problem. I would say just go to the passport office in India, get it changed, and I'm assuming you're from India, get it changed, and that might be the best way to avoid any problems. In the meantime, if you still want any, you know, if you still want any more detailed advice, get in touch, send your name, CV, and contact details to info@ajvglobal.com, because you're saying you're applying for a visitor work or visit visa. You're not specifying whether it is work or visit. So, if you want some good, honest, sincere advice, talk to us once. We don't charge you for just saying hello to you and finding out what your intentions are. Because it has to be either work or visit visa, but either ways, having two different birthplaces and two different documents is definitely going to create a problem. Get in touch with us with your contact details. We will examine the documents. We will take a closer look. Also, talk to you and understand where the mistake occurred. And based on that, we will then be able to advise you. But as a general advice, I'd say just try and get it changed and make sure it matches, because it can be a problem not only now but in future as well. Okay, so that's my most sincere advice. Get in touch with us, Gurvinder. We would really like to help you. Okay, cool. So, Dropsa, you said your sister is still planning to apply. Okay, now, okay, I don't want to sound like a businessman, but if she is not applying through us, I would not be very happy to provide free information or free advice, because that's how we guys earn a living. So I hope, Dropsa, your sister is a client of AJV Global. If she is not, please make a change of mind, because we guys are based here in New Zealand, and we do a lot of fun and interesting things with our clients after reach, and we provide them a lot of good support. But just coming back to your queries, I I am not a student visa expert, Dropsa, to be honest. I mean, I used to be, but now our team is so big now that I am not really looking into the student visa. So I don't know what is the latest rule around whether you can have two sponsors or it needs to be only one sponsor. I do hear my other senior people discussing it sometimes. I think somewhere the rule has come down to having only one sponsor. I think, but again, like I said, I've stopped focusing on the student visa side of things. As a licensed advisor, I'm mostly nowadays looking into the entrepreneur and the investor category. So, Dropsa, could I ask you to please call our 0800 number in New Zealand tomorrow, or if she has still not applied through any other company, it'll be nice if she can. We have a beautiful, beautiful team in India, and we have an extraordinarily high rate of success with our visas as well. So either your sister, if she's not already working with some other company, can reach out and send her contact details to info@ajvglobal.com and say that my sister spoke to Arun today in today's live session. I need some help with my student visa, and one of my team members in India will pick it up. Or if you want to speak to somebody here locally, call us tomorrow on 0800 696977, which is our toll-free number in New Zealand, and you will get connected either to Mary or Rena or Namrita. Namrita and Mary are both licensed advisors like myself. They're based here in New Zealand. Rena is also a senior person in our organization. You can talk to one of them. And Mary, by the way, is an expert on student visa, so she might be able to help. But again, like I said, if your sister is already working with some other company, it might be best to go to them for advice, because we don't want to give conflicting information. But if you want good, honest, genuine advice and want to see a sister here in New Zealand, Dropsa, I would urge you. I mean, of course, I'm asking you as a business person as well, but also because a lot of people in India really are not very familiar with, the proper ways of doing things to make visa applications. And so I don't want your sister to fall into the hands of somebody who is not very professional. So yeah, please get in touch with us if you are serious about seeing her. Because see, your questions are all something that we will answer free of cost and doesn't charge. We will not charge you anything. And from a proper expert like Namrita or Reena or Neha or Segal or one of those people, we have a lot of experts on student visa in our company. So get in touch with us, Dropsa. 0800 locally here in New Zealand, or today, tomorrow, work hours, or ask your sister right now to send an email to info@hjvglobal.com with her contact number and copy paste this whole thing. And one of our people there will talk to her and advise her about it. But yeah, be kind, work with us, give us some business. And we don't charge anything for the student visa process because we get remunerated by the institution. So we're good. We'll provide you lots of fantastic advice and a good visa application for your sister, and also a lot of friendship and support after she comes to New Zealand. Okay. Looks like I have reached the end of our session. Just when I thought I was going away, there were some good questions that came in. There he goes. My dear colleague Alvin is typing. He's typed no more questions, which is what I wanted to hear because I've already been speaking for what, almost an hour. So yeah, hey guys, lovely to be back online again and speak to all of you. New Zealand has opened its borders, and the visa applications are picking up. There become so many that there's actually a backlog with INZN. So there's been a bit of a delay in that, but talk to us at AJV Global. We are there. We are on Facebook, on Instagram. Go to our website, ajvglobal.com, or pick up and call out. And there are toll-free numbers in New Zealand and India on our website. But the best way to reach us always would be send an email to info@ajvglobal.com with your CV and your query. And I promise you, one of my wonderful team members or I will get in touch and give you the best, most sincere, honest, and friendly and frank New Zealand immigration advice. Okay? You take care. Lovely to catch up with all of you again today. Good night. Bye bye.